questions are there. Altogether, 5 questions are there. And Mr. Pankaj, you can reply to that.
So first question, is it not true that highly impactful teachers are the ones who are perfect in their planning? In fact, don't they plan minute to minute? Answer is of course correct, but to be able to do it day after day for every subject that you are supposed to teach. I'm talking about lower classes when normally there's a class teacher who has to handle, let's say, 3 to 4 subjects, all the subjects. Is it possible? Is it really feasible for most people, an average person, to really know what is the best way for a child to learn, let's say, second language, the first language, mathematics and science? Is it actually practical to really do the first, to give a satisfactory answer to the first question? My answer would be that it may be possible in some cases, in most cases it will not happen. So yes, of course, it is ideal, it's desirable. So therefore, what is important, I would say, is important that there is a perfect, so-called perfect, there's nothing like perfect planning, but let's say there's a very good elements of planning in everyday session. Should it be done by the teacher or by the school system? That really is the question. We find that it is difficult for every individual teacher to do this perfect planning, but it is possible if you have a separate set of people whose business is only to do that kind of subject planning, and then work with the teacher to make sure that that plan is implemented in the class. Second question, is that answered adequately, or we can come back again if this is a rejoinder for this thing. Second question, what are the 6 layer teachers should have to come under good best teacher category? Oh, I think this probably has been answered by our second speaker, so I would just let it pass, and I think that we really know. To me, I am not really expert in making judgment about the teacher, so I really have nothing to add to what people already know. Third question, how do we improve teacher quality? I would say that the question that we address in our program, I mean, you may find it a bit strange, all of us being teachers, we focus not on teacher quality, we focus on learning quality. In learning quality or learning effectiveness. In learning effectiveness, teaching quality is an important factor, but not the only factor. For example, the quality of the learning plan, quality of the learning material, quality of the curriculum plan, all these things go into the effectiveness of learning. So we address often, the question we address, how do we improve learning effectiveness, not on the teacher quality. Of course, we also address teacher quality, but that's not the primary focus. And that was not the issue I was addressing in my so-called talk. Next question, without language skill, many teachers find difficult to prepare lesson plan. One fast to weigh the and is absolutely true. Not only language skill, various skills. See, most of us who have done, let's say, B.Ed or whatever the course, recognize that maybe we were spending one full week to prepare the lesson plan for one subject or one day to present to in our class, and that was not really the best necessarily. So preparing lesson plan every day is very, very difficult, and we believe it cannot be done by most teachers on an average for the number of subjects which they have to handle every day, and therefore the system that we have evolved is probably the practical way to move forward. Have a separate set of planners who then work with the teacher to make sure the plan is implemented. Fifth question, how can compulsory and relevant teacher training modules be incorporated into academic boards? I don't know. You see, teacher training really is not my area of expertise, so I would let this question stand to be answered by somebody who's more capable to answer these questions.
The fifth question, how can compulsory and relevant teacher training modules be incorporated into training into the academic boards is the question. I would like to suggest those who ever have such a question in their mind, they may check for the website, UNESCO website, as well as our government websites, where they can get training modules for their own class as a school teachers, as a principal, or as a school leader. And I would like to suggest them to go through those two websites where they will get enough number of modules to train the teachers during the academic year. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pankaj Jain. Audience, still, if you have any questions to ask, why don't you unmute your mic and you can ask?
Ma'am, I would like to ask one question to sir.
Sure.
Yes, when I was going through the videos of Pankaj Jain sir and I was reading about him, I come to know that the Gyan Shala is based on the native language. The Hindi and Gujarati language is there, and so is there any particular reason that they have the native language only, like Hindi and Gujarati only? The teaching method is there.
Well, we believe that every human being learns best in his or in the language that he or she understands. And obviously, a child understands the native languages. Second language can be learned, but that requires exposure to that language, in the sense of use of that language in their life. The type of children that we are dealing with have absolutely no exposure to, let's say, if second language is the English you are referring to, they have no exposure to English, either in spoken form or the written form in their life. So we believe that trying to teach them through English would be wasting their time. They won't learn as effectively in English, even if we are able to teach them so-called effectively, as they would learn in their native language. So there's a reason we always teach in the language of the child.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, there is one question from Lakshmi Prakash to Mr. Pankaj Jain, that do school encourage to change the set lesson plan and utilize teachers' creativity in teaching?
See, let's understand one thing. All of us know that we have prepared, like I had prepared to some extent for this session that I handled with you. And frankly, if I was talking something which probably I must have spoken in different form, maybe n number of times. But the fact is that every time I speak, it is a bit different than what I have spoken the earlier day on the same topic. So nobody actually repeats the so-called prepared plan. Ultimately, you deliver on the ground what you can have really understood. Same is true by our teachers. Eventually, what they deliver in the classroom is the prepared plan, but interpretation of that plan by that particular teacher, and it varies from teacher to teacher. So there's a reality of life. And then, of course, different teachers would interpret the same plan and implement to different degrees, some more creatively, some more effectively, and some less effectively. So that is just fact of life. Every time human action is, by definition, rarely a delivery of creative. It's not like mechanical thing. Every two things will be identical. Every, let's say, two words or the two sentences will be identical. Every time there is a creativity and responsiveness to the situation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pankaj. Even from the chat box, I would like to read out Purnima Menon. Only an interested and initiative-driven teacher will bother to know about SCMR. But yes, truly needed. Yeah, I think this is for Dhanashri, right?
Yeah, of course. It is tough to practice. I mean, it is of course desirable, but it's tough to practice.
I would just like to add here, Mr. Pankaj, that yeah, there are teacher by choice and there are teacher by compulsion. Fine. So if you are a teacher by choice, you do find out certain things, even if you don't know how you explore. And I really like that, yes, know your child, and even like you, we need to reflect Still in today's time, if we are using the very old pattern or old way of teaching learning, and whether that is working in our classroom, I'll just say the learning is happening. What we want our children to learn, if we want them to memorize, we are training them for exam, or we really want them to learn and explore and think better and go ahead. I think many questions are there, right?